Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So today we have a new test, some new problems which are tricky, not difficult. So let's start. Graph of volume versus total pressure at constant temperature is, this problem is actually not difficult at all, but the options given are in a different way, which makes it difficult for the students to give the answer. Now what are the options? A straight line, first a straight line, then a curve, first a curve, then a straight line, and non-linear. So when you look at this statement, graph of volume versus total pressure, two things are given. This is volume V and this is pressure P. So you have to make a graph between V and P. And what is constant? Temperature is constant. So we know that this is what? This is Boyle's law. V is inversely proportional to the pressure. The graph of Boyle's law is a hyperbola. So when you look at hyperbola, you can find it that it is a curve. It not meets with the first option, the second option, and the third option. The hyperbolic graph is a non-linear graph. So the correct option is 4. Now move to the next one. Which one of the following is the angular speed in radian per hour for daily rotation around our earth? So what we have to find? We have to find out the angular speed in radian per hour for daily rotation around our earth. So the speed is given by omega is equals to 2 pi over t, where t is the time period, the time required to complete one cycle. In case of earth, the earth took 24 hours to complete one cycle. So what we'll do is 2 pi divided by 24. This is 2 ones are 2 and this is 12 times. So which is the correct option? This one. Pi over 12 is the correct answer. A rotating wheel coincides 12 revolutions in 4 seconds. So number of revolutions per second. How many revolutions? 12 revolutions. In how much time? 4 seconds. 4 ones are 4, 4 threes are 12. This is 3 revolution per second. Now find the average angular velocity in radian per second. This is the angular velocity, but it is given in revolution per second. So we have to convert it into radian per second. We know that one revolution, one complete cycle equals to 2 pi radian. So for 3 divided by second on both sides. Now what we'll do is, we have 3 revolutions per second. So this will be 3 revolutions per second equals to 2 pi multiplied by 3 radian per second. So now solve this. This will be 2 into 3.14 into 3. This will be 6.28 multiplied by 3. So make the multiplication and get the result. 6.28 into 3. 3 8s are 24 ka 2, 2, 3 2 are 6 and 2 8 and 3 6 are 18. So 18.84 radian per second. So this will be the correct option. This is the most interesting. A fighter plane is moving in a vertical circle of radius r. Its minimum velocity at the highest point of circle will be. A fighter plane is moving in a circle of radius r. Now this is the highest point. This is the highest point. Here we have aeroplane is lying over here. It should be noted that we have to find out the minimum velocity. When it has minimum velocity, this will be just balanced with the weight of the aeroplane. At this particular point, there are two forces. Number one is the weight of the aeroplane, which is acting downward. Other is the centripetal force, which is moving and keeping the aeroplane on the circular path. So this is Fc and this is W. Both should be balanced to have minimum velocity. Centripetal force is given by mv square over r. Weight is mg. M cancels with m. V square is equals to gr. So V is equals to under root gr. This is the correct option. Now move to the next one. If a flywheel is rotating at 3 radian per second, so this is angular velocity omega 3 radian per second. The time it takes to complete one revolution is about, we need the time period t. We know that the angular frequency is related with time period by the formula t is equals to 2 pi over omega. So here we have 2 pi in the numerator. Omega is 2 pi radians. This is in radians. And omega is 3 radian per second. Radians cancel with radians. Second will go up. So t is equals to 2 pi is 3.14 and this is 3 and this is second. So simplify further by removing this decimal point. When we remove this decimal point, we'll get 100 in the denominator. So we're left with 628 divided by 300 seconds. We can see that 628 divided by 300 will be 2 times. This is 628 remaining. Decimal 0 not going. Again 0. 3 nines are 27. 100. So and so forth. So 2.0109 is not given over here. When we round it off, it will become 2.1 second. So this is the result. Two bodies with kinetic energies in the ratio 4:1. So the kinetic energy of the first body is Ke1, second body has Ke2, ratio is 4:1, are moving with equal linear momentum. Their linear momentums are equal. The ratio of their masses is, kinetic energy is related to the momentum with the formula Ke equals to P square over 2m, P square over 2m1 divided by P square over 2m2, and this is 4:1. Why I didn't write P1, P2? Because their linear momentums are same. When you move further, you will convert divide into multiply and you will get this result. This will remain same, this side will be inverted and you will get 4/1 over here. So P square cancels with P square, 2 cancels with 2. We will left with m2 over m1 equals to 4:1, or when you invert it, so the required ratio is 1:4. This one. Now move to the next one. Again interesting one. I have taken interesting and difficult problems for you, not every problem. A man holding 10 Newton weight in his hand. Say this is a man and this is his hand. This is 10 Newton weight. Moves 5 meter horizontally. He moves 5 meters horizontally and 10 meter vertically. Then he moves 10 meter vertically. Find the work done by the man. You can see that in the first case, the force of the person is moving in this direction. He has lifted this, so force is moving upward. So the angle between force and displacement in first case, this one, here to here, is 90 degree. Means what? We know that the work done will be 0 when the theta is 90 degree. The angle between the force and displacement is 90 degree, result will be 0. So in the first case, we won't get any work done. In the second case, we can see that the direction of force is this one, as over here, and the direction of displacement also in the same direction. Okay, the work done, which is equals to F dot D, we can write FD cos theta. F is 10, this is also 10 displacement, and cos is 0 degree. Cos 0 degree is equals to 1. So W is equals to 100 joules. This is the correct option. Move to the next one. Which one of the following is the angular velocity? Angular velocity. We have to find out angular velocity of an electrical motor if it is revolving at 400 revolution per minute. So when you look at the revolution per minute, you can find that it is also indicating the angular velocity. Then what we have to do is, when you look at the options, you will find that the options are given in radian per second. So we have to convert revolution per minute into radian per second. So what's the conversion? 1 revolution equals to 2 pi radian, complete cycle. 1 minute equals to 60 second. We have to convert what? 400 rpm, so we'll multiply it with 2 pi divided by 60. Make it easy by converting pi into 3.14 into 100 by moving this. So 1 time, 4 time, 4 ones are 4 and this is 15. So this will be 628 divided by 15. So we'll get result 41 point something. So this is the correct option, 41.9. So that's the result. You can see this calculation.